Oh, be careful. Squats are bad for you.
Really? Hey, Dr. Jess here, and today we're going to answer the question, are squats bad for you? Well, let's start with, what is a squat? We use squats in everyday life all the time. So if you get on and off of the toilet, if you go sit to stand from a chair, getting in and out of your car, these are all going to be times where you use a squatting motion. You might even be doing a deeper squat when you pick something up from the floor. So are squats bad for you? If you do them every single day with almost every functional movement that exists in your life. Make sure to subscribe. So let's talk about how to do a proper squat, or a squat that's going to include more muscle recruitment rather than putting stress on the knee itself. So when we squat, we want to use a motion that's called your head-hips ratio, meaning that as my hips go back, my head goes forward. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to move my center of mass lower, which is the whole point of the squat. I want to be able to get lower to the point where I can either sit down or lower to the point where I can pick up something from the floor. So notice where my head is compared to where my hips are. This is what's keeping my center of mass balanced over my feet. If I do this, I can also recruit my glutes on the way up to help me, and that's going to include more muscles with the type of motion that I'm doing. So as I'm lowering down, I'm using muscles in my legs, muscles in my hips, as well as my calf to control that motion. My core is engaged because I haven't rounded everything out, and my mid-back is engaged because I'm keeping that nice strong line. So I could have weight in my hand, I could have weight here, I could have a kettlebell here. It's all the same exact motion of using this head-hips ratio. As I drive my weight back up, I'm pushing through my heels, which is going to engage my glutes. I'm going to engage my quads. That's going to get my knees to go straighter, keep my mid-back engaged and core engaged. So now I'm nice and strong as I'm finishing that squatting motion. Are you convinced that squats are good for you? Leave a comment below. To do this incorrectly, which happens on a regular basis, is I tuck my tail underneath me and I squat. I am lowering my center of mass, but now I'm putting a lot of stress onto the front of my knees by doing that, and I'm taking out a large muscle group from helping me with this motion. So I don't really want to put extra stress on the knee joint itself, and I always want to use more muscles if they're available. So what this would look like if I was squatting, let's say in a gym with weights, is I would be driving those knees forward, and then as I push up, you're going to see how forward my knee is. You're going to see that's going to be harder for me to recruit. If I'm here, I just push through my legs. I've got so much more power as I come up. Now this also, we can see this if we're using a squatting motion for a transfer, and I just don't really want to use that head-hips ratio for some reason. This happens many times when people are in pain, is they'll start to sit down and they get nervous, and so they'll reach back to start to sit down. Well, now it's like, look how off balance I am. My back muscles are going to have to engage, my knees are going to be stressed, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, it hurts so much to transfer. And then as I stand up, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push with my arm. These muscles are so small. These muscles are so big. So I'm going to reach with my arm, and I'm going to act like I'm going to push myself up off the surface because my back hurts. This is the motion that I choose to do. I don't know why. And then I'm going to come back up and go, I have the hardest time standing up. Okay, so head-hips ratio, no matter what, whether we're working out with weight or if we're in pain and want to transfer, head goes forward, butt goes back. We lower ourselves to the surface and sit down. It's a leg exercise. As I stand up, head goes forward, I push through my heels, and I return into standing. So the answer is, squats are not bad for you. Everybody really should be doing squats on a regular basis in their workouts, because if you want to be able to get on and off of the floor, go from sitting to standing from a low surface, or just to be able to lower down and pick things up without pain or restriction, then keeping your legs strong to do that is easily accomplished with squatting motions. So if somebody comes up to you and you're in the gym or you're working out outside and they say squats are bad for you, just shoot them this video so they know the answer. Are you convinced that squats are good for you? Leave a comment below.